All right, halfway house. We got this fine automobile we're going to talk about today. 2018 Ram 6.4 Hemi, automatic, four-wheel drive, single cab. Love this truck. What I don't love is the automatic. I hate automatics. I put a stick in, try to put a stick in everything, but obviously these hadn't been available with the stick shift in a long time, so had to settle for an automatic. We'll get into that a little bit more. Now let's go into it right now. All right, try to make this quick. I know y'all are going to ask, I've already been asked a million times by all my buddies, why would you want a Hemi instead of a Cummins? The main reason is I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on, I was going to have to delete a Cummins. There's no way I was going to leave all the emission shit on there. There was no way I was getting an automatic Cummins, so I'd have to find a 6-speed manual, a G56, which last year was 2018. I wanted a truck under 100,000 miles, so that was going to be hard to find, especially in a single cab. I found 3 in the 2 years since I bought my truck. I've only seen 3. What else? So, delete it, and I was going to, get rid of the VGT turbo, pretty much get rid of all the 6, 7 issues. So that was going to cost a lot of money. Plus the extra money for it being a diesel, 5 to 10 grand more than the Hemi trucks were going for. And, I have to put a clutch in it, get rid of that dual mass shit. So it's like, man, that's like another 10 grand. The Hemi, I won't have any of those issues. I also thought that the 6.4s had the 8 speeds, and they didn't get the 8 speed until 2019. Mine's a 2018. So I fucked that up. So that's pretty much why. The 6.4 has plenty of power. The gearing in it sucks with 35-inch tires. The overdrive is just too much. You're just in and out of overdrive all day long unless you're going 80 miles an hour. So once I put the 513 gears in there, pretty much fix that problem. Hopefully the valve body will fix the shifting problem. It just started shifting weird, upshifting in the fourth, and then when it downshift, it would downshift real weird. And if you floored it, it got to the point where if I tried to pass anybody, if I floored it like at highway speeds or a little bit slower, to where it would get into fourth, it would just stay in fourth. It wouldn't downshift after that. It wouldn't upshift after that. If I pulled over, shut the truck off, fired it back up, then it would shift normal until I floored it again. It only threw a code one time, P0871 or whatever that code is, which is usually valve body issues. Same with the 68 RFEs. And there's a 66 RFE, same exact transmission. It's just the Hemi version. Absolute junk. So looking back, I would have waited and got a 19 if I had known that at the time. But I also wanted a silver truck, had to be a single cab, had to be four-wheel drive, so it was very, very limited. It took me 3 or 4 weeks to find what I have. I wish I could have found my truck in a Cummins 6-speed manual, and I probably would have been a little bit more money into it, but wouldn't have to put a valve body in it, and wouldn't have to spend $3,500 on gears. But I really, really like my Hemi. It pulls great, so we'll see how this valve body goes. Let's get after it. All right, try to forgive the background noise. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there, but it's loud as shit, and they've been doing it all morning. It's only 8 right now, so anyway, here's the Revmax deal. I got the metal screw-on deal, and this is the, oh, it's heavy. I don't know, you can't really see it. You can see the billet shit in there. Obviously the end plate and all that crap. I'm not an automatic guy, but everyone said go with the Mopar kit. So I got this from Gino's Garage. Obviously both filters, new Mopar. Well, I'll give you the part numbers while I'm here, in case you want to do your own and put your own kit together or whatever. I don't know why that doesn't. I probably already threw that box away. Anyway, and I got one of these a long time ago. I hadn't put it in. And this is just a knockoff Amazon version. It's just a, milled billet block, so I didn't see the need to go with anything fancy there. So today we are going to throw all this crap in this turd. I really do like this truck. I like the interior. I love how it runs and drives, other than the transmission, and it just looks fucking sweet. So let's crawl under there and get to work. All right, we're kind of on an incline here. Get you a nice, make sure you got a big enough pan, and see there's no drain plug here. Fucking dog shit. So we're gonna fix that, because you can be as gentle as you can, and try to tilt one side, and I only got 2 hands, and I usually got to beer it, at least one of them. So we're just going to do this number right here. Oh, it's walking already. Yeah, make sure you have a high quality drill bit. Here she goes. Man, that pan is hard. There we go. Fluid still looks good though. Smells good. And I've never changed this 120,000 miles. I assume somebody's changed it at some point, but not me. So now's the time. All right, got ahead of myself a little bit here. Obviously got it out. The magnet was sitting right where the fucking hole is that I drilled. But you know, we got some paste here and there, but no flakes. Magnet looks pretty decent. And all these little flecks that you see, that's like overspray paint. It doesn't come off or move or anything. Made sure to make a huge mess. I do got a new dormant pan with a drain. That's why I drilled the hole in that one. There are 2 depths of pans and filters, shallow and deep. Back in the day, 2-wheel drives are all shallow, 4-wheel drives are all deep, and I think starting in 2010 or 2011, all of them, 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, are deep. So Gino's Garage got me, you know, the good shit here. Mopar shit. This is dormant. I got it from O'Reilly's. You can get a cheaper one by like, I mean, I think for like 50 bucks. This was like 70 or 80 bucks. Got this from O'Reilly's. You can get the ones off of Amazon, save you 20, 30 bucks. But I figured Dorman's got a halfway good name. It's better than just strict ching chong Amazon. So anyway, that's why we did that. And we're gonna, you don't need to watch me, you know, just yank out bolts. So we're gonna slam it back together. Wish me luck. All right, make sure you got a nice, clean, big workbench set up. Follow the instructions. Take your little plug. Since my shit is stock, you throw that little guy in there. I didn't have any Loctite handy, so I just cross-threaded it. Free Loctite there, and it is stripped to yield. So you know, over torque it till it strips, and then you back it off 1/8 of a turn. And we're gonna pull the old one out and throw this one in. All right, here she is. Got her yanked. Look how shitty the casting is on this. Looks like cracks, but that's seriously just casting flash. I mean, I think. I mean, all this is, but everything looks like dirt. Most of everything looks like dirt is casting flash. But when cleanliness is everything, make sure you do it in the dirt. Even though, you know, I got concrete and shit, everything but a lift. But anyway, 6 8-mil bolts, that drops right out. Be gentle with the connector, be patient, brake clean or compressed air, whatever you need to kind of finagle her. I took the shifter deal off just so I could get my little finger up in there better and finagle her out just fine. So we're going to clean this up a little bit more. And yeah, I think we're ready to go back together now. All right, after I dropped the pan about 5 more times because it kept saying it wasn't in park, I decided, fuck it, just try to start it. So it would start in park and neutral, and it had all 4 clicks like it was working correctly, but it would not, when it was in park, it would not say park. It said not in park. So I said, fuck it, topped off the fluid, moved it back here, cycled the gears a couple times to circulate some fluid, and now it's not saying anymore. So for the past 2 hours, I've been chasing an issue that I don't think was an issue, but we're gonna top off this fluid and then try to quick learn it and go from there. All right, once again, I skipped ahead because I wanted to see if I could figure out how to make it work before I started filming it. But I got this plugged in temporarily, obviously, that's why I'm just chilling. But it did work as far as the bypass for the security crap. And so, this is hard to do left-handed. I'm not really impressed with this scanner, but I guess it's all right. So these don't have a TCM if I remember right. Excuse the gut here. I'm trying to, this thing keeps sliding out of my hand. I can't reach this bottom button. So quick learn. See if we can do it again. I just did it and it said it completed. Blah, blah, blah. Here, let's set this down. How about we try this? Quick learn. So you got to push the brake. E-brake's on. You have to be up to running temp, I think, at least on most of them. This one, I guess, doesn't say. Move to overdrive. And it'll tell you shift to neutral. Shift to neutral. Quick learn's in progress. Move shift to drive or overdrive, I guess. And then it does all kinds of weird shit. I don't know if you can feel it or see it jerking and hear it doing some weird shit. Move over to park. Quick learn complete. All right, so I got the AC going and some AM radio going. I'm gonna let this thing warm up. What do we got? 100 and what do we got? Not very much temp yet, so I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit more and keep checking this training fluid and keep cycling through the gears, and then we'll go drive it, see how she handles. All right, I got a few miles on her so far. The 4th gear upshift issue and downshift issue is completely gone, and overall it's just shifting really smoothly. We're gonna see when we hit this big ass hill if it hunts for gears, but so this is with 513 gears, you know, 65 miles an hour at 2100 RPM. So quit being scared of 513 gears, but see if she'll hold it. Usually it'll kind of downshift to fifth, then go to sixth, then downshift back to fifth, sometimes in a fourth, and sometimes it'll just stay in fourth until I shut it off and start it back up. Overall, I'm pretty impressed by this thing. I'm more concerned about those quick connect clips on the transmission lines. Oh, there's the downshift, which is to be expected. Yeah, I never trusted those quick connect clips. Yes, this thing it's like the transmission is smarter than it used to be. I suppose I had some leakage issues inside the valve body, maybe some crack or something, because this is like a whole different transmission. I'm pretty impressed. Anyway, that's how you do a valve body in a 66 RFE 2018 Ram. So yes, that bypass is what I needed to do the quick learn. You just plug it into that little bar underneath, super easy, and then it just acts as a, plugs into your OBD2 port. That's all you need to do. So halfway house, I'm gonna turn around right here, and I'm satisfied. I'll see y'all later. Yes, after about, 30 miles, crawl under here, see what we got going on. And oh shit, it's dropping as we speak. Look at this. Awesome. Love it. Love to see it. Already leaking. Right on. Halfway, I'll see y'all.